Today we're talking about what happens when it's more than a slump, when the frustration, the tears, or the silence you see in your athletes aren't just about missing a pitch, but something deeper. Welcome to the Around the Dirt Coffee Talk. I'm your host, BJ Johnson, and every week we're serving up a hot cup of truth, strategy, and motivation for players, parents, and coaches in the bat and ball community. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk. Welcome back. This is the final part of our series on mental health in youth sports. We've talked about pressure, burnout, and the climate that we create. But today's episode might be the most important one yet, because today we're talking about what happens when it's more than a slump, when the frustration, the tears, or the silence you see in your athletes aren't just about missing a pitch, but something deeper. And I'll be honest with you, this one hits home. I remember a few years back, I had an athlete here at SFS who stopped smiling. Normally, she'd walk in joking and laughing and ready to work. But over a few weeks, her energy changed. She got quiet. She started missing lessons. Her swing was fine, but her spirit wasn't. When I asked if everything was okay, she said,
"I just don't feel like myself anymore."
And that's when it hit me. I'd been focused on her swing, but I almost missed her heart. And so, parents and coaches, we've got to see more than mechanics. We've got to see the person. So what do those red flags actually look like? Here are some things I've learned to watch out for, both as a dad and a coach. One, sudden loss of interest in practice and games that they used to love. And two, changes in appetite or sleeping too much or not at all. Three, negative self-talk like I suck, I can't do anything right, or the coach hates me. Four, withdrawing from teammates or family. And five, emotional outbursts that feels out of character, or the opposite, going completely numb. Now listen, every athlete has bad days, but when those patterns stick around for weeks, or when your gut says something feels off, that's not just a coaching moment, that's a check-in moment. This is where it gets tough, because most parents and coaches don't know how to start that conversation. You don't need to be a therapist. You just need to care enough to ask. It can be as simple as, "Hey, I've noticed you've been quiet lately. You doing okay?" Or, "I've seen your energy level low. Anything you want to talk about?" It doesn't need to be an interrogation. You just need to listen. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, "I'm here for you." Sports psychologists like Brett McCabe or Dr. Caroline Sibley remind us that young athletes are under more pressure than ever, not just from the field, but from social media and recruiting and the fear of falling behind. When they feel unseen or unheard, that pressure turns into hopelessness. And that's why early conversations matter. The research shows that kids who feel supported by caring adults, even just one adult, are far more likely to reach out when things get heavy, and that caring adult might just be you. So how do we move away from awareness to action? Here's what I recommend. One, create an open door policy. Tell your athletes it's okay to talk about feelings without judgment. Remind them that you love them for who they are, not just for how they play. Two, know your resources. Save the names of local sports psychologists or school counselors or even trusted coaches who can step in when you can't. Check out organizations like the American Psychological Association or sports divisions that the NCAA's Mental Health Directory has. Three, normalize help. Talk about therapy and mental health the same way you talk about hitting lessons and strength training. Getting help isn't weakness, it's training for the mind. And 4, build a who to call list. Create a simple card and that has a coach, a counselor, trusted family members. Let your athletes know that there's always someone that they can reach out to. As adults, our athletes watch how we handle life. If you bottle up stress, then they'll learn to do the same. If you model vulnerability, they'll learn it's safe to open up. So don't be afraid to tell your athlete,
"Hey, I've been stressed too."
That honestly builds a connection. The best coaches and parents create a space where it's okay not to be okay, and where asking for help is seen as strength, not a flaw. At SFS, we've started incorporating this into our culture. We tell our athletes, we're not just here to make you a better hitter, we're here to make you a stronger human. Some days that means we talk more than we train. Sometimes the best reps you take have nothing to do with a bat in your hand. They're the conversations that remind you that you're valued or you're seen and you're supported. Here's a quick guide to keep in your back pocket. Don't minimize an athlete's feelings, but do validate them. Like, I hear you. That sounds tough. Don't jump straight to advice. Do listen first and then speak second. Don't assume it's just a phase, but do check back in consistently. Don't handle serious situations alone, but do reach out to a professional if you're worried. So here's my challenge this week. Reach out to one athlete, whether it's your kid, a player you coached, or maybe even just a former athlete, and just check in. Ask how they're doing. Not their stats, not their swing, just them. And sometimes that one conversation is all it takes to help someone's direction. And remember, creating mentally strong athletes starts with creating emotionally safe environment. So that wraps up our 4-part series on mental health in youth sports. We've talked about pressure, burnout, climate, and today we spoke about support. So if you've listened to all 4 parts of our series, I hope you walk away realizing that success isn't about trophies or scholarships. It's about raising athletes who love the game, love themselves, and know they're not alone in the process. I'm BJ Johnson, and as always, we're not just raising athletes, we're raising humans. Take care of your players, take care of your kids, and don't forget to also take care of yourself. See you next time. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Coffee Talk. Subscribe to our channel and connect with us on social media to keep the conversation going. Ready to grow the game we love? Join us at aroundthedirt.com. The bigger our community, the stronger the game. Play ball, connect all.